Honorable Men Discord, Kings. Let's talk about it. I almost named this episode Three Kings because, in my eyes, these are three kings. You have Jordan Peele to one side, you have Spike Lee on another, and unfortunately, my head is blocking Ryan Coogler. But their work speaks for themselves, and just amazing, amazing film directors. All right, I just want to just highlight some things that I recently found out while I was putting this episode together. First, I found out Ryan Coogler, who's behind me, we actually shared the same birthday, May 23rd. So, another Gemini. For those of you that don't like Geminis, do your research on Geminis. We have amazing talent that have been Geminis. And I believe Tupac and Lauryn Hill are also Geminis. So I'm going to throw that out there. Yes, I'm biased to Gemini. So salute to Ryan Coogler, especially the fact that just knowing now that, when May 23rd comes around, I'm going to be celebrating my birthday, and so will Ryan Coogler. And I hope he has an amazing birthday, especially after this film that he recently dropped, Sinners. Amazing film. But just getting into other things, we have Ryan Coogler, who was born in Oakland, California. So he's representing the West Coast. We have Jordan Peele, who was born in New York. And I almost was going to say Spike Lee was born in New York because he represents New York to the fullest. If anyone doesn't know anything about Spike Lee, you could always catch him at the front row in a Knicks game. And he represents Brooklyn like no other. All right. But when I looked up, I saw that he was actually born in Atlanta, Georgia, which is news to me because with the way he puts on for New York, I would have thought he was born in New York. But maybe he was born in Atlanta at a very young age as a baby, and then his parents or family made their way to New York. But this is not about who was born where. I just wanted to put that out so you get a little idea of these gentlemen. So, again, like I said, amazing catalog. And this video was inspired, honestly, by Sinners. Once I saw Sinners, I said to myself, and I actually mentioned it in my immediate review of Sinners. I said, if I was Jordan Peele seeing Sinners, I'd say to myself, oh man, this guy is kind of on my heels, because Ryan Coogler, who we know did he did the Marvel movie Black Panther. He also did Creed 1. This film is completely different, obviously, from a Marvel movie, and is different from Creed, right? This movie is more of a thriller horror, which Jordan Peele, on the opposite side of Spike Lee, is known to. That's his bread and butter. From Get Out to let me just make sure I say these movies correctly. But that is Jordan Peele's lane, right? One moment. All right. So Jordan Peele put out Get Out in 2017. Then he had Us, which was also a great film. I saw that in the theaters as well. As a matter of fact, I saw all of his movies in the theaters. So you have Get Out in 2017 by Jordan Peele. 2019 was Us, and then 2022 was Nope. And September of this year, Jordan Peele is putting out a movie called Him. If you haven't seen the trailer, go see it. I actually saw the trailer when I went to see Sinners. That looks like it's going to be a great film to watch. All right, so that's Jordan Peele. So when I saw Sinners, I immediately thought of Jordan Peele. I was like, wow, this is going to compete with what Jordan Peele puts out. But I was pleasantly, excuse me, I was pleasantly surprised to see that Ryan Coogler and Jordan Peele sat down for an interview, right, in which Ryan Coogler interviewed Jordan Peele. Now, I'm not going to play that entire interview, but I just want to play the first few minutes from that interview. And that interview was actually on a podcast that Ryan Coogler spearheads. And I just want to be correct in giving you this information. Okay. It's called In Proximity, right? So the clip I'm about to play is courtesy of In Proximity. And that's a podcast hosted by Ryan Coogler and Pete Nix of Proximity Media. All right. And it says here that it's a production company known for films like Creed 3 and Black Panther. Now, Creed 3 was not directed by Ryan Coogler. I mentioned this in the Sinners, I believe, episode. Creed 3 was directed by Michael B. Jordan. But in any event, uh, this company, Proximity Media, is known for films like Creed 3, Black Panther, and Wakanda Forever. All right? So the podcast, it says here, features conversations with filmmakers, actors, and other creatives about their craft, careers, and creative processes. Right? So the clip I'm about to play right now, again, is courtesy of Proximity Media. And this is a conversation at the very beginning of the episode between Jordan Peele and Ryan Coogler. So let's take a listen and we'll be right back.
Like a joke, you know, if it felt like scary movie and, well, it didn't feel like it was the timing for that. You know, we were coming off of the Trayvon Martin murder, you know, in general as a people. And so this idea of finding any kind of entertaining spin or any kind of catharsis in that way,
right,
through genre at what could be considered at the expense of us.
Right.
I was like terrified that could just send it on the wrong way. So I do feel like there were some initial reactions to it that felt like, no, please.
Right.
We do not need this Key and Peele sketch right now.
Right. But it all came through, bro. I think that was the best version of the presentation. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think what I really loved was like what you said in Little Doms, bro. Was how you realized that the movie was all of these things, like the idea of Get Out in the sunken place being a movie screen that you scream at and you have no control over.
Yes.
And that being where you got your title from, and how black people scream at the movie theater. And I saw the movie in Atlantic Station in Atlanta, bro, like week 2. And it was the most interactive movie watching experience I've ever had in my life, bro. But when you...
So listening to that conversation, it's just good to see that you have two gentlemen that are down to earth. And, you know, many times for those of you that have a talent that you don't, you know, you think is so out of reach because you start to think that these people you see on TV are like superheroes. You don't think they've walked the same shoes that you've walked in. But the nature of this video is that we all have talent within. We just need to be encouraged. So I encourage all of you, no matter what it is that you want to do, whether it's business, you know, again, whether it's law, engineering, just pursue it. All right, just pursue it because you have the talent. Just continue to believe in yourself. Be patient, be consistent, and you'll get there. So I encourage everyone to actually listen to that whole entire interview from Proximity Media because it was a great listen. And I still have to go back to finish the rest of it myself. But now moving on to Spike Lee, who, if you don't know about Spike Lee's career, I'm going to let you know. Spike Lee is known for movies like Inside Man with Denzel Washington. He did He Got Game with Denzel Washington. He did Malcolm X with Denzel Washington. Great movie, long movie, but it's worth watching it from start to end. It's just worth it. He did Do the Right Thing, amazing movie. Mo Better Blues with Spike Lee, amazing movie. You know, and he has some documentaries that he's shot in recent times. He actually shot a movie with Denzel's son, right? And let me just make sure I have that right. That was the and I saw this one also in theaters. Let me just be correct with this. Oh, by the way, he shot the Five Blood movie, and that was, I want to say, one of 2 of the last films that Chadwick Boseman starred in before he passed away. But he did Black Klansman with Denzel Washington's son. That was a good movie also. I saw that in theaters. But again, all 3 of them, amazing work that they put out there. Spike Lee, I respect Spike Lee because Spike Lee is somewhat of a filmmaker / activist because the movies that he put out taps into the emotion of the Black experience, Black culture, and you know, we forever will appreciate Spike Lee and what he's done, not just on the silver screen, but what he's done for his portrayal of black men and women. So, but what we're about to get into is a clip from 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, which is Carmelo Anthony's podcast. Carmelo Anthony interviews Spike Lee, and Spike Lee speaks on how he feels about the new filmmaker in Ryan Coogler, and we're gonna listen to that right now. So let's take a listen, and as always, I'm just gonna play this short clip, but I encourage you to watch the full clip from 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, which is Carmelo Anthony's podcast. So let's get into that now.
Whew. Ryan, I was in LA, and he called me up and said, "You want to?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here." He said, "Well, we're testing the IMAX for this new film." I said, "What's the film?" I didn't even know what it was. It's Spinners. He comes with a bet. So it was myself, Ryan, and his beautiful wife, and man, I thought I was the courtside. I was jumping up.
Insane. Yeah.
You asked, man. Yeah. Watching that film, it was like I was courtside the Garden, we were winning. It's amazing. There's one scene, I want to get everything with, but there's one scene where the steady cams, so you follow the people, and it goes through the whole history of our music.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it?
Yeah.
That's your Baltimore.
Yeah, no facts.
That's a fact. And then, at first, my brother playing twins, but then I got it.
Yeah.
I hope everybody just come out April 19th, support this film. It's amazing.
It's incredible. It's an
incredible
film, man. Obviously,
Michael B. Jordan, just
attention to details.
The attention to detail. Michael B. Jordan did his thing. We talked about the kinship between you and Denzel. I think Ryan and Michael B. Jordan have like a similar kinship.
Yeah. They're doing that thing too.
If you haven't seen the synopsis for Sinners or the trailer for Sinners, it's a brand new take on the horror, but it's also very culturally rich at the same time, and it's just a mixture. It's almost like 3 movies in one. There's a lot of things that sort of happen.
For me, he told me the film was a horror film before. I said, "What is it?" And I don't think it's a horror film.
No.
I don't know exactly what the word is, but it's he invented a new genre.
Yeah, that's a different genre.
You feel me?
That's a different genre.
I'm with you when you're right. It's a new genre.
It gives me the same feeling I got the first time I saw Get Out, where I'm like, it's a horror film, but like
it's the
there's so much
happening.
Yeah. Like that's it. Like it's a whole experience.
Nah, that shit is fire, man.
Man.
He I just love to see him work.
All right, so as I conclude, what I'd like to hear from any one of you in the comments is, what's your favorite film from each and every one of these directors? What's your favorite film from Jordan Peele? What's your favorite film from Ryan Coogler? And what's your favorite film from Spike Lee? And if you haven't seen any of the films from any one of these gentlemen, I encourage you to watch it, because you're watching some of the best films that have been put out there. And there are other great directors out there, make no mistake, but these guys are definitely, putting on for the culture, for the community, and I appreciate all 3 of them. But that's all I have for today. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't, like the video, share the video, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Take care.